G'day trendsetters and welcome to downtown Bentonville. Today's video is brought to you by Continental Tires. I'm in town for a tyre launch, but I'm going to conduct a pre-ride of the 50-mile Little Sugar course while the weather's good. It might be getting dodgy for event day, so let's get riding while the sunshine is shining. For those wondering, I'm staying at the Motto Hotel right in downtown. There's the valet crew. G'day crew, they're busy. We are blindly following the Garmin today. There's the Walmart Museum. I'm rolling through the main square here in town. Left turn. Rightio, first gravel road. Bentonville, Arkansas area. Pardon the camera shakiness, you're not really supposed to ride one-handed like I'm doing here. Everybody riding the 50 miler, you're really going to take care on this first descent. There's a decent amount of rocks, loose gravel, that kind of stuff, and you may not always be able to pick your line with the melee that is the start of the event. Don't forget, you've got a long way to ride, so don't go berserko early on. Nobody wants to ruin their day. Definitely bring your low gears if you haven't already. I'm riding a 30-36 low gear, and I'll probably be all over it today. Music in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas. Right, mate. Crossing an interstate of some kind. This is one of those times when being in a car royally sucks. Even though I do own several cars, nothing personal. Automobile owners watching this video. Behold, Little Sugar Creek. Onward. That creek is dry as you know what. We're turning right. But even dirty traffic. Oh yes, glorious bliss, we have another gravel road ahead of us. Let's bloody do it. UPS truck, he's hauling ass, making a big dust cloud. Time to get off the bloody road for a second. He was driving nice and slow, nice bloke though. Don't want to get dusted. Some other riders out pre-riding. Here we go. This bloke's out for a nice ride. Pre-riding, all right. All right. Big Sugar golf course, I guess. All right, next gravel. Spotted a few riders out doing pre-rides of the various distances. We've got some water in the creek. I would have been very disappointed if there was no water in the creek, having traveled from North Central Florida. It's that time of the ride where we present another edition of Gravel Roads of the World 101. For those new to the area, what's it like here? Well, there's hard packed surface in many areas, and you've got, you know, little bits of gravel around the place here. There's some chunkier stuff. In fact, I ran into a bloke earlier. He's chugging along there right now actually. He's telling me he's from Chicago and this stuff is way chunkier than he's used to. So right within your comfort zone. Some of the descents are rather spicy. You don't want to have a bingle, as we would say. There's our friend from Chicago is telling me this is way chunkier than he's used to. He's doing a scouting ride. Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
They could definitely use some rain here. That'd be optimal if it didn't rain event day, which at the time of this video is supposed to be storming a wee bit. US Postal making the runs. I did mention conditions were dusty, right? Bloody hell, mate. We're going that way. Benton County, respect rural roads. That's right, cyclists. Don't forget to share it with farm tractors, locals, hikers, and maybe even a loose cow. Always be a steward for cycling. Don't forget, we are very fortunate and privileged to ride these roads. Hey folks, here's another section of the local roads outside of Bentonville. A bit chunkier, but really nothing to worry about if you've got good tyres on your bike, and there's plenty of choices available nowadays. Tyre pressure. I meet so many riders who run their tyre pressure at roadie type levels. I typically run a 43mm or 45mm tyre casing, and I run that bugger low, typically 18 psi in the front and about 21 in the rear. That's obviously going to depend on your body weight and that kind of stuff. I do have a tyre pressure chart that can provide you some guidance. It's linked in the description below. The boys are working hard up there, the old Lecky lines. We've had a bit of a tailwind so far. My fortunes could change. These are the sort of descents you're going to tackle. A lot of them are short, they're a bit steeper, but obviously quite loose, and you have to, well, ideally, ride with both hands on the handlebars. Don't do what I'm doing. Then it drops you out into a climb. Go trendsetter's a bit chunkier here. No worries though. Just have a light feel on the bike. I have my arse elevated just a smidge off the saddle right now, so the bike doesn't take as much of a hit with my weight loading it up on the sharp rocks, etc. It is the sort of chunkier stuff I'm talking about. You obviously have to exhibit great care on these descents. Some folks, they might be riding a suspension fork. That would definitely be helpful, especially if you're hauling the arse down here. Actually, I did ride a suspension fork when I last rode this event. It's quite a while ago, but I'm riding a completely rigid bike with low tyre pressure, no whacking furries, mate. Road impassable during high water. Yeah, I can see why. Crosses a creek. There you go, there's some chunky stuff for you boys and girls. Bloody hell, mate. Trendsetters, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is I've ridden about 30 k's of the 80-ish kilometre course, aka 50 miles. The bad news is that's all I'm going to show you, because we don't want to spoil the surprise, right? That's right. Heading back to Bentonville. The cows are having a nice dip in the pond. Well, that wraps it up for today's ride experience preview, etc. of the 50 miler here in Bentonville, Arkansas, aka Little Sugar. And if you want to see what happened to me a long time ago at the inaugural Big Sugar, the 100 miler, that video is linked in the description below. Thank you always for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. This very YouTube channel for no bull, travel bike reviews, ride experience videos, and general madness. That's nice. Which makes up a good chunk of my life at times. I'll see you in the next video.